Okay, what's going on, everybody? Schuyler Diehm here, men's fat loss coach, and I couldn't help but see that Will Smith just released what appears to be the first and second episodes of his new TV show, YouTube series called Best Shape of My Life. So if you guys didn't see, Will Smith gained a good amount of weight. I think it was around 20 pounds during quarantine, and he was showing that off on social media, and so I guess this is kind of a documentation of him losing the weight. You know, the YouTube title says, "Can Will Smith lose 20 pounds in 20 weeks? Best shape of my life." So personally, you know, this is something that 20 pounds in 20 weeks seems super doable for me. Obviously, it depends what Will is trying to do, if he's trying to gain muscle, just trying to burn fat, anything like that. But I'm intrigued. I'm interested to see how this goes. So we're going to react to this TV show. I'm going to be giving my own commentary, and yeah, we'll see what we can find along the way.
Are we rolling? You know, I've spent a lot of years worried about people's perception of me. You know, when people think I'm like a certain way or a certain thing, and I'm comfortable with me. I am me. This is me, y'all. This is me, y'all. Take it or leave it.
He's owning it.
This is crazy. Will Smith getting rounds of applause on Instagram, writing, "I'm in the worst shape." One fan responding, "Thank you. Aren't we all after this pandemic?"
Will Smith's dad bod has inspired a social media movement.
I didn't realize quite how big Willie had gotten.
And I believe you, Will. I believe you.
You can do it, Will.
Yeah, we're counting on you.
I'm gonna lose 20 pounds in 20 weeks. Let us begin.
Oh, this is going to be dope.
Yeah, so that was the kind of show I thought I was making, but things turned out a little bit different.
What's going on right now, Will?
I think, I don't want to do any of this.
That's real, man.
I'm finished with the best shape of my life.
He's in this gym that's probably a multi-million-dollar gym. All this top-notch equipment. It's not your resources, man.
When I started this year, I thought I was going to show the world how.
That just goes to show, right? Like, a lot of people kind of make excuses of, you know, if I was Will Smith, I'd be able to do this. If I had the money, if I could hire the trainer, if I could hire the chef, if I could get access to the gym. And, you know, at the end of the day, it's not your resources, it's your resourcefulness. So this is, I'm excited for this. This seems like it's going to be a very real episode.
Will Smith gets in shape.
Okay, we're done. Let's pack it up.
Yeah. I had no idea what I was really about to show the world. You are killing me. You don't bring a film crew and everything, Jazz, if you don't have everything set up.
You've pulled the curtain back on your entire mechanism.
We're here on another stupid day. This whole stupid show we're trying to do.
I was going to be the best father the planet had ever seen, or I was going to be dead. I'm at a calorie deficit, and I'm in here crying every day. God damn it!
So, this whole calorie deficit thing is so interesting, man. So, for those of you who are just finding this channel, I'm super into fasting because, you know, if we look at when you eat less, your body adapts by burning less calories. When you eat less, you get in this state where your hunger goes up, your metabolism goes down. With fasting, when you eat nothing, right, it's the same thing. You're eating probably the same amount of calories, but it's done in a way where you're bulking the amount of calories you're eating when you're not fasting. Your hunger actually goes down and your metabolism goes up. So it's interesting. So I'm assuming Will is counting calories here, which I'm not a huge fan of. It's just not the way our biology is meant to be. It doesn't take into account so many different factors like stress, sleep, the food you're eating, exercise, all these things that impact how many calories you're burning. So hopefully they go into detail into kind of what his exact strategy is. But to start off, you know, it's no wonder why he's probably struggling at this point because he's counting calories. He's probably not giving his food or his body the food and the nutrients it needs.
I'm done. let's set that shot up so it feels like he's... You do the weight? Yeah, you can do that one first. Hey, guys.
I love Will, man. His energy's so good.
Will Smith, buddies, ready?
Happy New Year! Happy New Year. Okay, so there's a little bit of understanding that needs to happen before we do this. So, my physique in the past has been spectacular in some circumstances. I did a movie, I started before COVID, where I played Richard Williams, who was Venus and Serena's father. The character required that I put weight on, so I put on weight, you know, the thicky woo-woo.
No mistakes, no mistakes.
And then COVID-19 hit. COVID made the weight more than the role called for. I folded the tuna in gently.
You can't get caught looking for food while you're hungry. Nobody is disciplined enough to be hungry and it's muffins there and not eat the muffins.
I have a question. Yes.
I agree with that, man. I mean, you can absolutely build that level of discipline, but if I'm hungry and there's food there and I'm not fasting, it's easy for me to just have that stuff. So that's a really good point. You got to have the good food around. You can't just expect things to fall in line for you to make the best decisions when you're hungry. So you have to plan ahead in some aspect.
How much weight did the... Hold on. I don't... This isn't a... Is this a Q&A? I'm embarrassed, okay? We're gonna keep it real. I'm embarrassed, okay? Over COVID, at the same time as grazing through the pantry, I'm trying to finish my memoir. This book is about me.
One day, I would be in charge, and this was never, ever gonna happen again. Whew. Chapter 1, Jesus.
Whew. But honestly, it was like the more time I had, the harder I found it to write. I had serious writer's block, and I'm not feeling great, like mentally or physically, so today...
Man, let me touch on that real quick. It's so important. Like, people look at weight and fat loss and everything like that, and a lot of it tends to go to how they look in the mirror. And not many people mention how if you're not in control of your body, if you've gained weight, if you haven't gotten to an ideal weight where you're healthy and energetic, how much that impacts how you show up in other areas of life. You know, it's not separate. It's not just your health. It's everything's connected. Your health impacts your relationships. Your health impacts your career. Same thing, your career impacts your health. Your career impacts your relationship. But I love starting with, if your life's a mess, starting with health, because it's the one thing that you have full control over. Right? You look at a relationship, someone else is also in factor of that. You look at career or finances, you know, there's the market, there's other people. Health is just you. You show up every day or you don't. And if you do, you see results, and if you don't, you don't. So I love that perspective, right? He realized he had gained some weight, and then he couldn't focus on his memoir. He didn't feel good, and it made it harder for him. So just another reason to get in shape.
Is the first weigh-in. Under normal circumstances, you wouldn't see what you're about to see, okay? It's secret. Oh, jeez, this is bad. This is bad. This is bad. Tragedy. So I'm gonna go to the 200, which I'm sure is it, but that's right about 220. I mean, 218 is like just short of 219. Yeah. That's not too bad, right?
I wonder how tall Will is.
18. Oh, damn, hold on. It wasn't 50. Oh, damn.
So he's 6'2", so he's got some height to him.
That's terrible. It was just a little bit off. Okay, all right, okay. Damn. I was feeling bad. Okay, it's 221. It's 221.
Why'd you decide to film all this? How to expose yourself like this?
That's a very good question.
He looks skinnier there, no?
Yeah, I guess the cameras, for me,
maybe that's the after.
Like a, what do you call it in Alcoholics Anonymous when you have the partner? Like, what is it?
Dude, that is so real. If you're posting on social media while you are staying consistent, like, a lot of people have this fear that if they post about it, it's really a commitment for them, and if they mess up, the whole world's gonna see. But if you post about it consistently, like, that's one of the best ways to stay consistent. When I do my longer fasts, when I do 30-day challenges, when I do anything that really stretches me physically and mentally, I post about it on social media, because when times get tough, it's like, no, I made that commitment, and I didn't just make it to myself, I made it to the world, everyone who follows me. So this is cool.
A sponsor, yeah. So it's like, for me, I'm a performer, so the cameras act like my sponsor. They keep me accountable. But I know the world is going to see it.
And he's Will Smith, so it's millions of people. It's not just the couple thousand that follow me.
It's like the greatest peer pressure there is. I'm not going to fail if it's on camera.
See one, take one, beacon.
I'm Dr. Ramani Durvasula, Dr. Ramani, and I am a licensed clinical psychologist and an author. And I've been working with Will for about a year now. Bringing the cameras in is a double-edged sword. I do sometimes wonder if for Will, they allow him to perform, to be funny, and that deflects from his embarrassment.
You know what? I'm going Marlon Brando, butt and gut. That's it.
Bro, that's another thing. Like, if you joke about something, you kind of reduce the pain, and sometimes the pain is what motivates us, right? We as humans tend to move towards pleasure and run away from pain. It's just a natural thing. And so, if we're struggling to lose weight, it's because it feels like more pain to move and lose the weight than it does to stay where we are, right? Because it's that immediate comfort. It feels better to stay comfortable, to eat the food, to sit on the couch, to skip the gym, than to go out and eat healthy and do the things that over time help you lose weight. And so if you're making jokes of it, which is, in our culture, whether it's weight loss, mental health, anything like that, it's kind of the go-to for people to make memes and make jokes. But that's kind of self-sabotaging it, and not only doing it for yourself, but others, right? Because if others are able to laugh about it, yeah, it provides them that temporary relief, which is good. But if we think about long-term implications, it's a little tough, because now we're making something that should be painful and should drive us, and we're kind of easing up on it and making it not hit as hard. So this is probably what she's about to say.
When we can joke about something, our pain, our problems, our tragedies, it makes us feel that maybe they're not so bad. As a part of my writing process, I put together this gathering that I call book camp. Most of my memories of my childhood involve me being afraid in some way. Afraid of other kids, afraid of being hurt or embarrassed, afraid of being seen as weak. How we decide to confront our fears, that is the person we become. I decided to be funny. It's this compulsive desire to constantly please others, to keep them laughing and smiling at all times, to redirect all the attention in the room away from the ugly and uncomfortable toward the joyful and beautiful. It's there a true entertainer is born.
And I'll add that too, right? Like, sometimes it's okay to numb it. Sometimes it is needed. You can't just sit in that pain all day. So I have huge respect for comedians, for people who are always making others laugh, because, yeah, sometimes you need that little reprieve. I just think it gets to be an issue when that laughing and that joking becomes more consistent and something that happens over and over, rather than something that is just, every once in a while.
That's the opening chapter. Next chapter is mutiny. And you all have wonderful roles in mutiny.
To me, humor is Will's first language.
So I want to get a sense of what my new body is doing at being over 50.
It is the ultimate defense. It's the ultimate protection.
So now I'm over 50, right? Oh, ooh, we get the play.
Squeezy ball.
The funnier the person, the greater the pain.
Is he faking it?
I'm faking it. There you go. You see that? There you go. That's it. Okay. Two-time Academy Award nominee right there, ladies and gentlemen, Will Smith. Theme.
For Will, the real psychological trick would be to open up and not crack the joke. No matter how powerful you are, eventually the pressure becomes too much.
I don't want to do any of this.
My name is Aaron Ferguson. I'm a personal trainer.
Cool. So we hired a trainer.
With Will for about,
super important,
this is the
right?
ninth
So he knows what he's
I've
doing.
never seen him like this, and he's never ever been in this bad a shape ever. So sleep, obviously getting as much as you can, but watching the amount of caffeine you take.
Yeah, no, we're not going to do that. Pick something else. Let me do this.
Yeah, so our goal is to lose around £1 pound a week with a new diet, a new exercise program. That method is the most sustainable.
This is like not a simple walk when you fat.
So the basic framework is we'll do 2 days of resistance training, then we'll take off, and then we go back on 2 days. Will's a big fan of doing cardio first thing in the morning, so we'll do some sunrise runs.
So we got resistance training, 4 days, so arms and abs, legs, back and core, whatever's left. So interesting. Chest and shoulders, I'm assuming, is day 4. Pretty good program. Arms and abs is good. If the goal is weight loss, there's not really any necessity to do abs. It's kind of more of a glamour muscle, but obviously, and they have back and core there. But, it hits every body part, assuming they do shoulders and chest on day 4. So looks like a pretty good plan.
When I mean some, I mean every morning. And then we'll do the resistance training a little bit later in the day.
So we're not shooting that. New.
So running every morning is interesting. I would probably want to keep things lower intensity just to keep that consistency going. And obviously he's got a little bit of a different situation because he's working in person with his trainer, whereas the work I do is online. So, a lot of the accountability besides the check-ins is on my clients. Like no one's, forcing them out the door, showing up to their house, bringing them to the workout they have to do. But it just feels like a lot to do a sunrise run. I mean, it's good for building momentum, I guess, and since he has that trainer, I'm assuming his diet is going to be really dialed in, which hopefully they touch on in this episode. So it's an interesting strategy for sure.
New. Not going to happen.
Terrible. From I am legends to I am luggage. 2021, best shape of my life. Let's go.
Good, nice. That's pretty solid, huh?
2 plays next.
I just gotta be aggressive. Be aggressive. Be aggressive. Be aggressive. AGGRESSIVE aggressive. Be aggressive. Woo! That's how I keep myself going.
His life's never in balance.
Let's go, Will.
He's
In the
writing his
70s.
autobiography, and when you're involved that emotionally in a project, it's going to take a lot of time and energy. The big challenge with him is management.
Why y'all letting me have my strap out like that? Like Leroy from Fame. Somebody put some water down on me.
So he's pushing, man.
Good. Nice. Yeah. Perfect. Solid.
Holy moly, man.
I'm really interested to see what the result is this week because he worked really hard. So I am expecting a decent result.
Only thing here, man, I'm all about sustainability. I really am. And going that hard week 1, especially if you have not had any sort of exercise routine before, it can just be a road to burnout. Like you never want to dive directly into it. There's always, just like you warm up before a workout, you want to ease into a big workout schedule. So, I mean, we'll see.
This is the law of the universe. You're gonna change. Your body's gonna change, your family's gonna change, your circumstances are gonna change. No matter how good you get a circumstance that's perfect exactly how you like it, it's gonna change.
Nothing lasts forever. I promised myself that during the good times, I would plant and nurture the seeds of the next thing. In the same way that my music career was scorching hot, then icy cold, I knew the same thing would one day happen in TV. I asked myself, after television, what would be my next thing? There was only one answer: movies.
Part of the way that I look at life is you try to
Create the cycle of destruction.
So it's like getting ahead of change. There's nothing I've ever experienced like changing your body that teaches the rules of the universe.
Yep.
Transforming and cultivating a healthy body and a healthy mind is really similar to the macro process of cultivating a better world.
Bro, they're connected. Body and mind are one.
222. 222.
It doesn't feel right.
So he gained a pound.
I put weight on.
Should we go run and grab the other scale?
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing about food this week.
Which one?
You can see the scale on the hard surface is really cool.
The gym has the smaller scale, though, if we wanted to run and get it.
No, listen, you gotta. So that's a failure for this week.
So from 20 pounds in 20 weeks, it actually becomes 23 pounds.
Oh, here, and this asshole looking at me like, he looking at me like, shit, during my day, this bullshit wouldn't be happening. Punching in some stupid numbers into this little stupid phone with this whole stupid show we're trying to do.
It's cool because you can see he's got the frustration there. Like, he really cares about this and he's really driven. And I feel like someone who's made it to that level of success has to have that level of that high performance attitude of just wanting to do better, wanting to be better. And, you know, if you don't measure up to your expectations, which is really hard when you're really working, it can take a hit. And if you take a hit, it can kind of lead to negative momentum where you kind of snowball downhill. So I am noticing, though, he has a Whoop sweatshirt on, which is cool. Whoop's a good fitness tracker, but yeah.
Helping people evolve. That's stupid. It's not stupid. It's the only thing that could make a person happy. It doesn't seem to be working right now, but what you've come to understand as Will Smith, the alien annihilating MC, bigger than life movie star, is largely a construction. A carefully crafted and honed character designed to protect myself, to hide myself from the world, to hide the coward.
It's gonna be a good book, man. Good promotion. All right, a lot of good thoughts from this. Number one, I'm upset they didn't go into diet, and you know, there's looks like episode 2, so I'll be checking that out in my own time. Really, really interesting, man. Really interesting to see the process he's taking. Really interesting to see his results. And honestly, part of me wonders if this is all theatrics. You know, Will is an entertainer. Like, that's what he does. And he was even talking about it, that he evolved. When he was in TV, he was thinking about what's next. He went to YouTube. Or, excuse me, he went to movies. Then movies, I'm sure he did, you know, comedy in there. I know he was crushing out on YouTube for a while. I haven't seen much content from him lately, but this could be next, right? He could be getting into the fitness world. He could be doing something with fitness coaching, or even just creating content around this. But obviously he's turning this into a TV show, so he's doing something with it. And so part of me wonders, you know, is the first week he went hard in the gym, didn't really pay attention to what he was eating, so he could just build that momentum and create a good episode. I don't know. Obviously we've got 20 weeks to see his results, but this is going to be a pretty cool process, and I'm interested in watching it. So I'm curious. Let me know in the comments what you think of this entire debacle, what you think of Will's transformation. If you think he's going to make it, just give me your thoughts. But subscribe if you're looking for more awesome content. We are in the business of simplifying weight loss, right? We use fasting, we use resistance training, we use mindfulness and awareness, and we are getting results for our clients like I've never seen before. So if you're interested in learning more about our process, how we use this process to see results and why it's so effective, check the description of this video for a link to a free training we put together that's going to break apart our process from A to Z about why I believe it's the most effective, how you can use it, and everything else. So I appreciate you guys a ton. This has been awesome. Of course, make sure to tune in for more great content. Like the video, hit that subscribe button, tap that bell. But of course, as always, make sure to eat smart, move more, sleep deep, and be grateful for this moment. I'll see you in the next video.